Good morning, beautiful hearts. Welcome to this beautiful Sunday morning. I hope you're doing well. Anyways, thank you for joining me for Tea Time with Denae. Today, I want to just briefly talk about Ascended Masters, the end times, and what's been going on, and what we can expect. And this is something for me, with my background, I would get very upset when people would say, oh, Jesus is just an ascended master, or he's an ascended master, we weren't allowed to look at him, or what have you. I want to talk about them because, guys, they're real. There is truth in everything. Unfortunately, for religion, a lot of them teach that they are the only way, that their way is right, and that's that. Nobody else has the truth, and if you're following someone else but them, then you're not going to get into heaven. The time for that bullcrap is over, guys. That ended, in case you don't know, the 7th Golden Age started December 22nd, 2012. So we're a few years into the 7th Golden Age. It is a golden age of change. Prophecy, in the fact, prophecy is true to a point. What a lot of people believe is prophecy, with Jesus coming out of the sky, the trumpets are blowing and everybody looks up and notices, or with the Left Behind series that came out, people took that as the gospel truth, that's exactly how it's going to happen. Now, they're very close. They are very close. But what I'm saying, and what I really want to convey here, is that just because a religion strongly believes that it's going to happen a certain way doesn't mean they're fully right. Doesn't mean it's going to happen that way. And, we run into many people, most likely in our families and our friends, that some believe that way, and they're not willing to open their mind even a little bit to the concept that maybe they're wrong, maybe they don't have it totally right. And this is sad because I had a conversation with a lady yesterday who is going through a really hard time in life right now. Everything that she believed, she's really upset. Jesus didn't come back the way, she thought he would. But she's still not open to hearing any other possibilities. So, and I get it. I get that fear, especially if you come from one of these religions that believe they are the only ones, they have the only truth, and if you do not talk, believe, and act like them, then you're going to hell. Anyways, that door is closing. A lot of people are starting to be uncomfortable. People are leaving the church. And here's the truth. And I found this truth out personally, and you can do research as well, and I always encourage you guys to do your own research, but at some point it's going to come down to your own personal choices, and you choosing to take control of your fear and step past that and be willing to allow for another perspective. It's kind of like if you've had some experiences in your life where, it could be traumatic, doesn't have to be, but you had an experience in your life and you've always seen something one way, and you've just paid attention to that, and you've made beliefs, and that is how it is. You may run across someone or something years down the line that give you a different perspective that just says, hey, did you maybe think about looking at it this way? In other words, more truth comes to you. And at that point, you need to decide, okay, is this truth? Is this my truth? Do I want to change how I'm seeing things? Do I want to change what I believe? Those are your free will choices. And God honors that. He gave us free will. So for any one religion to say they are the right way and they're the only ones that have the answer, it's bullshit. Because that goes against the nature of God. He gave us divine free will. So he's not going to take it back from us. So it's up to us. And we chose to believe these certain things originally. So it's only us that can believe to change them. And that comes, with a desire. And it's scary though, and I get that. But being on the other side of it now, there is so much freedom, so much, wow, that makes so much sense. That resonates. Those type of aha moments. I can personally say I've gotten closer to God and to Jesus, to the ascended masters, the angels, more than I ever could have when I was in church. Why is that? We're taught that, they're only in the churches. No, newsflash, they're not. What you experience there is only a portion, because religion instills fear. So if you fear God, you can never fully open up to him and get close to him. That's a problem, because he wants to love you. He wants to come close to you. God does, and the masters too. And the ascended masters, they each have their own personalities. Most of them were here and walked on the planet here on Earth in human embodiment. Not all of them, but there is a full spiritual hierarchy that, each person or each entity, however you want to say it, has a role, and they all work together. They're not here to hurt us. They're not here to steer us away from God. They're here to help us to realize the truth in everything, how expansive the universe is, how expansive God is, how expansive the love is. And when we can bust through our own fears and get closer to them and welcome them in, they want to come. They want a relationship with us. And, I spent many, many, many years ignoring them. Didn't want their help, didn't want to talk to them. Didn't really want to know anything to do with them out of fear. But now that has all changed for me. Yes, I had a dramatic experience that brought them into my life in a completely different way. But I'm stubborn. So yeah, I get it. The little subtle hints or things like that don't work on me. I need dramatic things. I have now gotten rid of that because now I don't need dramatic things. But to get my attention. This is where discernment comes in. Now, I knew about discernment, in church we were taught about that. But I've learned a little bit different now. Discernment doesn't have to be a split moment decision. It could be something where you're hearing something from me or somewhere else, or you're reading something and you're like, oh wow, I've never heard it presented that way. I've never thought of that perspective. I don't know if this is truth for me or not, but I'm not going to make a decision. I'm going to be open and allow some time to feel this out and do some research and see if this is truth for me. That, guys, that's true discernment. God's never going to make you rush for a decision. You don't need to do that. You need to feel it out in your heart. One thing that religion teaches us is there's one God, Father God. That is true. But what they don't teach, and what has been hidden, is the woman's presence, Mother God. Why is the mother's presence removed from all religions? Why in many religions are women not so much shunned, but quieted? Why is the woman's presence not talked about or shared? Well, really it was. That's what Jesus came to talk to us about. He didn't come to talk to us about Father God. We've already gotten that concept down. We know that. He came to talk about the mother's love. Father God is the creator. He does think things into creation. He is the mind of God. The mother's presence, Mother God lives in your heart. That's the love. That's the balance. When Father God has an idea, when Creator has an idea, He brings it to the mother, into the heart for the love. And then the mother decides what goes forth. And just think about that. If that's a little hard to swallow, let's just think about it in practicality terms. If the mother's presence was taught and known, would we be going to wars? Would we have had all this death and destruction? No, we wouldn't have. That's what's been missing. And that's actually what Jesus came to share and talk to us about. And He set the example for us as, what we're supposed to do. He didn't come here to save us because we were sinners. God doesn't create sinners. God doesn't create mistakes. He creates perfection. And He produces everything that's good. You're a product of God. You're not a sinner. Never were. That's what religion wants us to believe. So we're always seeking man's approval and following these rules. And yes, there are rules and laws of this land that we need to abide by. But before that and above that, there's God's laws. I call them the laws of life. You may call them the universal laws. But anyways, they're true and they're God's laws. So when we can release from our cellular level and our thinking, our beliefs, that we're sinners and we need to act a certain way and be a certain way for God to love us, you're getting closer. You're now opening up and saying, you know what, God? I'm questioning everything that I've been taught. I want to know the truth. Come closer to me. He will. Mother God will. The ascended masters, they're always around you. They want a relationship with you. But again, God is orderly. They can't come to you unless you open up and allow them to. You don't have to believe in them. You don't have to have a lot of knowledge of them. All you need to do is just say, you know what? I want to know the truth. And I allow this. And they're not going to come in and scare you. They're not going to come in and tell you what you have to do. You have to do this, you have to do that. You're not giving over your power, your mind, or anything to an entity. And if an entity ever shows up and demands you do certain things and demands this, that is not of the light, and you have power over that. And you say to that entity, if this shows up, show me that you're of the light. Show me you're of God. If not, you've got to go. And they have to obey and listen to you. An ascended master is another representation of God. They each have different roles. You can think of them as like your cosmic family, your cousins. But they are here to help. They're here to help just like your spirit guide is here to help. Angels are here to help. But they will not invade your free will. They will not cross that line, just like God won't. So being open to understanding and learning about them is key. They're gentle and they're safe. They're only here to help you, to illumine you. Again, they're not here to give you instructions, directions, commands, or demands. That's not how it is. They have become like my cosmic best friends. It's really interesting. A friend of mine the other day had asked, how did I know who I was dealing with or who I was talking to? And this particular friend, we met on Facebook. We're internet friends. We have not met in person. And so I use that analogy. You and I know each other. You know my energy. You know my vibration. You've never seen me physically in person, but you know my vibration. Even when I'm not on the phone with you, if I'm thinking about you or whatever, you pick up on that. You know I'm there. Is that true? She said yes. I said it's the same way with the masters, with the angels, with Jesus, all of them. It's the exact same thing. You get to understand and know them just like I'm talking to you. You can talk to them. You get to know their vibration. And it's a trust thing, and you have to build up to that. A good example is we adopted a rescue dog yesterday, the one I have talked to you about before. She is such a sweet little, I keep looking because she's right here on the floor in my office. She is such a sweetie patootie, but she is so scared. She's scared because she was an outdoor dog. Well, now, I have her indoors, and I can only imagine the rough little life that she has had. I can see it on her face. The trust isn't there yet, and it will be. It's a new situation, and that's what I say to you guys. I know it could be fearful. I know it could be scary, but ease into it. Just open up and allow for the opportunity or your perception to be changed. And I'm just going to turn and show this. See if you can see her. There she is. Just like the scared little rescue dog. Yeah, it's scary. It's fearful in the beginning. I know. I was there. I dealt with all that. I am so glad that I found the cojones or the balls to get past my fear and welcome this into my life, because my life has been amazing. I didn't realize what religion taught me, aside from fearing God, was it taught me that to pray, keep asking until it just falls from the sky. How's that working for you guys? Because I'll just let you know, it didn't work for me that way. And, even I spent hours praying, and I thought one day, I said, now wait a minute, God. We need to have a little chat here. You are all knowing. You are omnipresent, one with all. Why do I need to spend hours crying out to you with what I need, with what's going on? You should already know that. Something is backwards here. Show me the truth. Well, guys, when you ask for the truth to be shown to you, be prepared. I guarantee you it's not going to show up the way you expect. It's just not, because God is so much bigger than we could ever really imagine. And religion is so limiting. Our humanity experience taught us to be so limited and so dense. It taught us to go against our divine nature, our spirituality, because we are one with God. So when I asked that, and my answer came, and he was like, yeah, you're right. I know all that. You're wasting time. All you're doing is bringing a laundry list. You are not opening up and allowing my love and my presence and my guidance to come to you. You're so busy, yak. And I'll be the first to admit it. I was great at drive-through prayer. You have a need. Oh my God, let me get on my face. Let me pray, get up, and then boom, got to go off and do stuff. That's drive-through prayer. Where are you spending time with God? No. You came in, you gave a laundry list, and you left. Now, my time is different. God already knows all of my needs. And he goes before me. He supplies those needs even before I know that I need it or I ask it. What changed? What was the difference? I've learned from different masters, different parts of the truth. The truth never changes. It only expands. It goes deeper. And we have to do it in stages. We cannot just one day believe this and then hop over here and just believe this. It doesn't, if that works for you, great, I encourage it. But it didn't work for me. It caused a lot of issues because a lot of the duality kept coming up. So working with the masters has allowed me to learn how to, shut that part down and know that it's safe to go behind all of that and get the truth. And to go into the silence. You guys, when I pray now, it's very different. I now acknowledge my I am presence, which, in case you guys aren't aware yet, Jesus's name, we know it was Jesus. We know Jesus the Christ. That was not his last name. It was a consciousness. It was his thinking. But before Jesus, he was Yeshua. And before that, he was Emmanuel. He's Emmanuel now, King of Kings. That is true who he is. But he's also I am. And so now when I pray, I acknowledge, mighty beloved, I am presence within and above. God got us all that is. That's how I start. And then I go silently. I start with my spiritual truths. I am the resurrection and the life. Jesus, this, that, and the other. Whatever you want to say. But I acknowledge the presence. I pour out my thanks. And again, it's not, oh, I worship you, I love you, I praise you. No, it's just, thank you for coming into my heart, igniting the unfed flame in my heart. Thank you for opening me up and illuminating me to the truth. I want to know more. And then I call on the different masters, whoever it is that I want to work with or talk with. If it's forgiveness, Mother Mary, she's your go-to girl. I mean, look at what she walked through here on this earth. The masters all carry the flame and the love of God. But they also can come and they're great, great teachers. These are the same people that taught Jesus. The Bible has left a lot of things out. Jesus went away for many years. Where did he go? From the age of 12, where did he go? He went to the ancient Himalayan mystery schools. He was taught by the masters. He was taught the divinity and how to use that and turn water into wine and all of those different things. He also said he had to leave this planet, but he was sending others that were going to do his works and more. Guess what, you guys? This is now the time for that. This is prophecy coming true. We're having a lot of crazy storms that defy science. They're mixed in with our regular stuff. Guys, that's prophecy. If you're seeing things that defy science and seem supernatural, believe it. It's prophecy. Is it God sending doom upon the planet? No, it's not that. This is what humanity has created. Millions of years, we have been doing crap to each other in this planet that, the law of karma is real. Karma is real. One day, I'll do a whole topic on karma because it's really not what we were taught. And it's a universal life law, and it goes both ways. The good is rewarded as well as the not so good. But anyways, the prophecy now is coming that balance needs to be restored. It needs to be restored to the earth. It needs to be restored in our lives. This is what awakening is. The different elements, the different masters, Jesus, everybody has a hand in this. Yes, it is end times, but it's also new times. It's a new beginning. With every end, there's a beginning. No, the world is not going to be destroyed and we just disappear. Death in that way isn't real. What we've always thought death was is we just lose these physical earth suits. I call them earth suits because we need them to live on this planet. That's all this is. We lose this suit. Our spirit doesn't die. It never has. It never will. It transitions. We are in a time of transitioning. With the seventh golden age coming in, the dark forces that have been trying to cover up Jesus's original teachings, all of those different things that have kept us from the truth. It's harder now for them to keep that up. More and more light is coming in. More angels are coming into the planet. We have more angels here on earth right now than we have since the fall from grace. We have a lot of cosmic help, guys. They're here wanting to assist us. They need our assistance as ambassadors here on earth. So it's really not a scary thing. We're taught fear. Media teaches us fear. Have conversations with friends and family who aren't illumined and who aren't awakened. It's palatable. It's out there. Are things going to get worse before they get better? Yeah, but they're going hand in hand. And if you focus on the bad, then what you focus on expands. So I encourage you, don't focus on the negative. Don't focus on the storms. When you hear these storms coming, acknowledge it, but don't keep your attention on it, because when you do, what you feel you make real. And this is something the masters have really, really taught me strong. What you feel you make real. Where you put your attention, where your focus is, there you are as well. So if you're focusing on that, then you're experiencing things in your life that are reflecting this. It's not rocket science, guys. It's our beliefs. A lot of it are disempowering beliefs, which are unhealed wounds. The masters are here to help us heal. They want us to be restored back to our full divinity. That's what they're here for. We're going to start seeing more and more of this. It's an exciting time to live right now. This is what, if you have a religious background and you've been praying for God's intervention, like a lot of us did and have, well, guess what? It's answered prayer. This is what's happening. And He's going to work it through all of us. We all have a role in this, and the masters want to work with you. God wants to work with you. They all want to come close to you. So I want to leave you today with, are you willing? Are you willing to just even say, you know what? Maybe I have been sheltered. Maybe I haven't seen the fullness of everything. Okay. Today I'm willing to take a peek. Today I'm willing to open that door just a little bit and check it out. You don't have to take my word for it, but you can use my life as an example. My life has opened up amazingly. Yes, I manifest like crazy now, but how? How did that happen? I tap in. I work with the masters. No, the masters aren't doing it for me. They're teaching me how to get behind my duality thinking, my humanity, remember who I am, remember all that is here for me to use, and how to use it appropriately. The Ascended Masters are all about essential harmlessness, just like Jesus was. Jesus never said, you have to do this, you have to believe this, you have to be this way. He didn't. He never said that this religion or this is the only way. No. He taught love and essential harmlessness, and that's what they're here to teach us as well. So I want to leave you guys with that and hope that this has at least sparked some interest. Hopefully it's dispelled some fears. I know it can be scary. And, this is stuff that has been instilled in us and we've believed for a long time. But we are in a new age. This is end time prophecy. But religion always focused on end time prophecy. Yes, there is an end, but it's not total destruction. And what it really is, it's a new beginning. New light is coming on. The angels are pouring in. Expect to see miracles. Expect to see the unusual. Expect all of that. Because when you expect, that means you're opening the door. You're saying to them, you know what? Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I didn't know everything. Maybe I wasn't told the full story. But whatever that full story is, I want the truth. Show me the truth. And then be open to what they show. Again, always make sure it resonates with you. There are so many different spiritual paths. It's not right or wrong. It's not this path is better or that path is better or they have the truth, we don't have the truth. No, that's all bullcrap. There are many spiritual paths to the one God. And whichever path you choose, that's great. That's perfect for you. But relieve yourself. You don't have to save anybody. There's nobody to save. Everybody is on this path individually. God made us individuals. Our relationship with God is unique and individual. It's with your I am presence, within and above. You don't need to tell anybody else how they need to believe or what's wrong with them or with their thinking. Just like nobody needs to do that to you. We've spent many years living in that burden, and that's just not the truth. God is so much bigger than that. There is help for us to learning the truth and finding our way back. And it's the inner journey, and it's inside of each and every one of us. Again, find what works for you. And one thing that they've really taught me is my beliefs and my spirituality is sacred. It's sacred to me. I don't share it. I do share it with you guys, some of the things hopefully to help you guys and to give you examples. But in my daily life, I don't go around sharing anything. And unless somebody asks me a specific question, and even then, if I know it's going to upset them or offend them, not that I lie to them, but I will not engage in those type of conversations. I won't get baited, because that's not essential harmlessness. Jesus was about love. God is love. There is only one law, and that law is love. There are many ways to get to that love. And as long as each person is searching for their truth and they're searching for their God, honor that. Honor that for them, because that's what's working for them. And maybe one day they'll be where you're at. Maybe they will question. But each person needs to be honored in their beliefs and not be ridiculed for them. That's just not love. And that's not what Jesus came to talk to us about. It's not what he showed, and that's not what the masters are here about. Nobody's here to control you. Again, God gave you a free will, and he wants you to use that free will. Unfortunately, we've been taught to use that free will to not see the fullness and the truth of God and to freeze him out. You can make that decision to open up to the truths of God. And opening up to the truths of God is not going to open you up to evil forces. I know that's what a lot of, and especially in the Christian religion, you're taught, if you open your mind to that, if you put your attention to that. Kind of like marijuana is the gateway drug. You smoke marijuana, the next thing you know, you're a heroin addict. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way with God either. So I hope I've given you guys at least some peace, some strength, and some nuggets of truth that you can search inside and expand on. That's what I'm here to do, just to say, hey guys, had you looked at it this way, maybe it's this. That's what, started me on my path. I just said, you know what? Things aren't working for me anymore. This doesn't make sense. Why am I going to throw myself on the floor and pray for hours when God already knows what I need? What do I need to do to get the miracle in my hand? Well, I got to work with him. Praying and sitting there waiting for something to happen, it's insanity. You've got to take steps. And those steps start inwardly. It's with your thinking and your beliefs. What you feel, you make real. So what are you going to make real today, guys? I hope I helped. I'm going to go. I'm out of my tea, and I really want some more. And I'm going to go try to spend some time with this little angel here who, I believe in a couple of days will start to realize, life's going to be really good from here on out. It's about honor and trust for every living being. And that's the time we're living in. Honor your uniqueness. Honor your path. Honor yourself. Goodbye, guys. Namaste.